Hey everyone, it's time for some more Jensen sports talk. I wanted to get on here since the season is over for USC football, other than the bowl game. Talk about a few things in this disappointing season. Definitely didn't go the right way. Definitely the last game was not good, needless to say. I don't think there's much to dig in to that other than it highlights what we need moving forward, which is the biggest area we need on is actually on both sides. I mean, we talked about all season that the defense has not been great, but both sides. It starts with the offensive defensive line. It's the physicality there. It's the size that we need to improve on. So first things, Lincoln Riley. I still have a lot of faith in Lincoln Riley. I think it's a bit of a joke that people like Paul Feinbaum or whatnot are saying he's no good or he's washed out. I mean, the guy has won more than most college football coaches out there. Now, do I know that it will all turn out good? No, we don't. But it is not out of the ordinary for extremely good coaches to have bad years. And each one will be different. Nick Saban has things going at Alabama where a bad year could be 2 losses. But he's built that program so they are just churning out amazing players all the time. USC is not in that situation. We are not built that way yet. And we need to get back to that. That's the goal, so that we are, in the championship talk every single year. But we are not there yet. The team that Clay Helton left, it was not good, especially on the lines. You could say that he had a couple of good skill position players here and there, but that was it. So having said that, I mean, you look at all the good coaches at USC through their history, Howard Jones, John McKay, John Robinson, Pete Carroll, even at the end, they had bad years too. This isn't some shocking thing that USC can lose several games in a season. John McKay lost after winning a national championship several games. Pete Carroll in his last year lost 4 games, I believe. I'm going off of memory here, but things were not the best right then, and that can happen. Especially you look at what happened with Pete Carroll. That's what I know most because that's most recent. Part of the reason why he missed on some recruits that would have helped greatly, but also a lot of the head coach or assistant coaches that were with him had left, and there was sort of a brain drain there. The assistants were not as good that he had as when he was going through when USC was the best team every single year. And that takes an effect. Now we see that Grinch was not the right fit, a defensive coordinator for a not so talented group of guys. There has to be a lot of other people that could have gotten a lot more out of it. Now, as far as the defensive coordinator search goes, I like Leonard, but I don't know who. I do know we need to get someone that is willing to be physical. So one person that I want, not as a defensive coordinator, but if we could get him back, is Coach O on the defensive line. Coach O is amazing at recruiting. We could help, and 2, he can motivate those defensive linemen better than anyone. Do I think he's a good scheming person at all? No, he's not. But put him on the defensive line, and you've got some good defensive linemen that he can turn out, and he can get to USC. So I know he has some history. I don't care. If he would be willing to come, I think as a defensive line coach, that's top of the line. Get him in again at USC if you can. Again, I don't know if you would. I don't know if USC would, but that's one person, whoever they get as the defensive coordinator, I would try and make that call. Other thoughts really going forward, just we need to solidify the lines. Whoever is quarterback out there probably won't have the elusiveness that Caleb Williams had. We need to be able to do things to establish a run. We could not this season. A lot of people saw, Marshawn Lloyd. I like him, regardless of fumbling issues or whatnot. I mean, he was a solid running back, but we couldn't establish the run because we couldn't run block. We couldn't pass block either. And that's where we need to put our focus on. First and foremost, we need to get those lines solidified. If you can start running the football and actually put some fear into them that we are going to have an effective run game here that will open up the offense, and it will give time for newer quarterbacks that we'll have, assuming Caleb Williams is not there. Assuming if Caleb Williams comes back, which I don't think he will, but if he does, we still want that. That would just make him unbeatable if he actually has a line that could run block and pass block. So number one things, that's what we've got to do. Defensive line, offensive line. Defensive coordinator has got to put in a better system. All right, we're moving into the Big Ten. And I am so sick of hearing just how hard USC's schedule is going to be. And we're just, woe is USC because of the schedule is so hard. Is it a hard schedule? Yes. It looks like a hard schedule. Is the Big Ten better than the Pac-12? No. Ohio State and Michigan may be better than teams in the Pac-12, but the number one team coming out of the East is Iowa. If you score 17 points against them, you're most likely going to win. They can't score. Minnesota isn't good. Wisconsin's in shambles. Nebraska's rebuilding. They might become better, but right now, not so much. Illinois is a joke. Northwestern is bowl eligible, and they're garbage. Maryland is probably, other than Penn State, is like the fourth best team, and there's no one on Maryland that's scary for anyone. You look at the Pac-12 teams this year, and pretty much from top to bottom, they're better than the Big Ten. So we don't need to be scared, but we do need to make improvements in our physicality. And it wouldn't matter what conference USC was going to, they have to make those changes. If USC gets things right on the defensive coordinator hire and start focusing a little bit more on being a little bit more physical, things will work out, and you don't need to be scared of the Big Ten. The Big Ten is vastly overrated in this system. Top heavy, yes. Again, Michigan and Ohio State are very good. Penn State is a good team, but not a great team. And then you've got a vast wilderness of not good teams. Decent teams, but nothing that is like, oh boy, I'm scared. The SEC has this too. I mean, it's not just the Big Ten, but you look at the SEC, they've got, Alabama and Georgia, and you're looking at the other teams that are in there. Tennessee isn't much of anything. Texas A&M, no. Ole Miss, they're a good team, but can't beat anyone that's really good. So it's the same thing. LSU is the same thing. They're a good team, but they can't beat anyone that's really good. And so even with a Heisman Trophy candidate, and Jaden Daniels. So my thing is USC, we need to straighten it out. Don't be scared of the Big Ten. We will be just fine there. Things will work out. And I believe in Lincoln Riley. I think he'll get things turned around. Don't pin one bad year and think that that's going to be the usual there. Give him time to build a program. Yeah, and I loved what Lincoln Riley said today. He addressed the rumors of going to the NFL, and he's like, "Heck no, I'm staying at USC." That's what I want to hear. I think he's there for the long haul. I think he's going to win in the long haul, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the future despite a disappointing season. One other thing as I close, we did not waste Caleb Williams. Are we disappointed we didn't win with Caleb Williams? Yes, we didn't waste him. We had a bad team, and he helped us immensely. Imagine where USC would have been without Caleb Williams. So did we waste the Caleb Williams things? I don't think we did. Do I wish things were better? Yeah, they weren't. So let's move on. Let's win this next season, and yeah, have it so good. Fight on.